At first, it doesn't always feel like anything serious. Maybe it starts after a small disagreement, nothing explosive. You bring something up calmly, something like, "Hey, I felt hurt when you said that earlier." And instead of a conversation, there's just quiet. Not the kind of quiet where someone says, "I need a little time to think before we talk," but the kind where texts stop getting answered. Eye contact disappears. You say something, and it's like you're talking into the air. At first, you might assume they just need space. Everyone needs time to cool off sometimes, right? But then hours pass. Maybe a day, maybe longer. And now the silence starts to feel heavier. You find yourself replaying what you said. Was I too harsh? Did I overreact? Should I have brought it up differently? The original issue, the thing you were trying to talk about, kind of fades into the background. Now the focus is on the silence, on fixing it, on getting things back to normal. Eventually, you might be the one apologizing. Not necessarily because you've changed your mind, but because the distance is uncomfortable enough that you just want the connection back. And once they start talking again, everything seems fine. Until the next time. Over time, the silence starts doing something. It shifts the emotional balance in the relationship. Because when one person stops communicating completely, they often end up controlling. When the conversation starts again, how it happens, and whether the issue gets talked about at all. You might begin to notice yourself hesitating before bringing things up, weighing whether it's worth it, avoiding topics that might trigger another shutdown. Sometimes, silence shows up after something hurtful happens, like a dismissive comment or broken promise. Instead of explaining or apologizing, the other person disengages entirely. And now you're left trying to figure out what went wrong while they've already moved on. No resolution, no acknowledgement, just quiet. After a while, that kind of silence can start to feel like rejection. Not loud rejection, but something subtle. Some people describe it as this low-level anxiety, like you're walking on eggshells, trying not to say the wrong thing, trying to avoid another emotional shutdown. And then, just when you've adjusted to the distance, they might re-engage warmly. Maybe they're affectionate again. Maybe everything seems back to normal, which can leave you wondering, was the problem ever actually resolved? Or did we just move past it? Over time, this kind of pattern can lead to self-doubt, reluctance to speak up, or suppressing your own needs just to keep the peace. Not because anyone demanded it outright, but because the alternative feels like disconnection. That's why it can help to notice the difference between taking space and withdrawing completely. Healthy space is usually communicated. Something like, "I need some time, but I want to come back and talk about this." Punitive silence often isn't. And if you find that communication shuts down whenever concerns are raised, it might help to set a boundary around how conflict is handled. Something simple like, "I understand needing time, but I do need us to come back and talk about things." Because sometimes, silence isn't just the absence of words. Sometimes it's a message. And learning to recognize the difference between space and withdrawal can make a real difference in how safe a relationship feels over time.